All right. Friday night stream. Excited to play a little NCAA. Haven't played that on stream in a couple weeks. And we got this guy on stream. Set up a second camera just to get him. But we take on number 20 Washington today. First ranked game in a little bit. And probably our toughest game in the remainder of the regular season. So be an important one for sure. Hey Tanny, what's up? Do you like the Gilbert cam? Homie's just snoozing on the bed. Alrighty. Let's transition. Washington is a pretty decent team. We're gonna, before we get into things, check out their depth chart. Eric, I thought it'd be something like critical, but instead it's that. 87 overall quarterback, 90 throw power, 84 accuracy. Pretty speedy for a quarterback too, so we're gonna have to watch for that. He's got 16 touchdowns and 6 interceptions on the year. On the ground, he averages 66 yards per game. Their halfback, Neil Hunter, not as great, but pretty quick. 97 speed, 91 acceleration. Wide receiver core is definitely one of the best in the conference. High 80s all the way down, plus your 92 Sheldon Wood. Tight end pretty good. Offensive line, very solid. Defensive line, a little thin, but definitely solid. If we can maybe run a little hurry up, we can really tire down their defensive line. Linebacking core, low to mid 80s. Cornerbacks, a really strong start with John McDaniel, but a pretty steep drop off, and only 4 corners on the roster. So that's definitely going to be a lot of 5 wide we're going to run to target number 32 and number 36 in coverage. 49 and 34 are the better ones, but this guy's a true freshman still. 60 awareness. Definitely something we can target. 75 free safety, 77 strong safety. The secondary is definitely their weak point. Yeah, that's Washington. Here we go. How's everyone else doing tonight? Tenny probably really excited about the Kraken clinching the playoffs. That's huge. They were one of the hottest teams in hockey, and then the last 2 months they kind of dipped. They let the Oilers overtake them in the standings, but they clinched their first playoff berth in their second season, so pretty sweet. All right, they are middle of the pack in pretty much all stats. 8th in rushing, that's actually really scary for a CPU. Defense, kind of middling. top third in the nation in most stats. Injury report, they're going to miss one wide receiver with a strained knee. Their top players, of course, we already looked at them. And then they've got a tackle visiting.
Hi everybody,
sunny skies, no precipitation.
The EA Sports NCAA Football 14 pregame show presented by Nissan. Innovation that excites.
I might move around the Gilbert cam. I'm not really sure if it's going to cover up anything
of any stadium in the country. We're at Husky Stadium for today's game.
We pick tails. Of course, it's heads because that's how it goes. I placed it like perfectly on the bottom line, so you still get that. We'll see if there's anything else that it covers that we care about. Definitely going to go aggressive on the option defense after looking at their quarterback and halfback.
Washington.
He's the one I'm more worried about.
So here we go.
So they booted off. We're definitely not going to take it out. Start at the 25 with J.J. Kemp.
Arizona State staff and their fans have heard all week long their quarterback's going to play terribly on the road. I think their staff's got them ready to prove them wrong right now.
I think this staff really has rallied this entire team
intrigued to
around
see
some of that
what set
negative
they
talk.
started.
And I think they believe in their guy, that he can go on the road and make the plays and lead them to a big victory.
They start with a 4-down set,
so
the
option
like that, is definitely on the table.
Circle the wagons, and I really believe this week they've done a great job of doing that. Now they just have to go out, execute the plan,
and
run
a little
this
bit.
game.
Kemp,
slide,
pick up 8.
So the quarterback picks
definitely
up
a good start.
8 on the scramble.
That makes it 2nd and 2.
Down lineman again, so probably something they're just going to stick with the whole game. We keep it with JJ and slide again, first down, and we're going to cook against this defensive line, I sure hope.
Very frustrating for this defense.
1st and 10.
First and 10. Ball on their own 40.
All right. Work a little bit of the clock here on the road. And give first carry to Lawrence Gonzalez.
Nice
Picks
run
up a
the
solid
middle.
4, but gets his legs taken out.
Gains about 4 yards on the play.
That makes it 2nd and 6.
Washington, one of the strongest CPU
From
Pac-12 teams.
44-yard line. It's 2nd down.
Used to be controlled by a user a handful of seasons ago, but now is slowly working its way back to
He's going to try and scramble.
normalcy.
Under heavy pressure.
And we hit him over the top. Here's Gonzalez in space. Shakes the defenders in a 41-yard catch, the halfback, getting into space on the wheel route.
Was behind the coverage, and he found him with a perfect
and
strike.
just
That's
tucked
nice
right in
passing
behind that zone
for a
coverage.
first down.
I'm really glad he caught it. He doesn't have the best of catching stats, but once he's in space, he does have the ability to make somebody miss. Down to the 15. Definitely biggest play of the game so far. Hopefully not the biggest play when we're all said and done.
So the big gain resulting from the pass play leaves
They go
us with a
3-down
1st and 10.
lineman for the first time. Something we'll have to watch. As we go over the
Passes it,
five,
picked out of the sky.
over the middle, and it's picked off.
Spectacular play there by the
After that
linebacker.
huge
A
big
couple quick
play, looked like he was going to break
The
open.
quarterback saw him on that play. He was right there
But instead of
waiting for the ball.
leading the receiver, he throws it behind him, and it's intercepted. We were going for that crossing route over the middle, and a promising drive ends at the 8-yard line, so the defense has a chance to make an early statement.
From their own 8-yard line.
As we step
First
out,
down.
they've got 3 wide receivers, and most dangerously their quarterback, who sends a man in motion.
He scrambled.
And immediately scrambles like we've been worried about.
Dives for
Gets
extra
10
yardage.
yards, 11
And that was
yards,
a
picks
nice
up a
pickup
first.
by the quarterback.
Brent, I think this guy's
It's
amazing.
definitely
He has an uncanny
gonna be
ability
the
to scramble, and it showed
inflection
right there on that play.
in this game is trying to mark that quarterback on the ground and through the air. Halfback's nothing to sneeze out for sure with his underlying stats, and he gets his first carry here.
Draw play.
They
Makes
get
it to
11
the
through him,
31.
12.
That's another first down, Brad. And
Just
right
like
now,
that,
you
they
can just really
have the
feel
momentum.
and sense the rhythm that this offense is in. Their ability to pick up first downs,
crushing
just pushing
interception.
this defense further and
As
further
they
down.
send out
back
2
into
tight
their
ends.
own
Their second
territory.
tight end is really weak, so you have to expect that he's just going to block.
From their own 31-yard
Second tight end
line.
is that Clay
It's
on
first
the
down.
left. Good tackle.
Right
Can't
around the
believe he caught that.
42-yard line.
Thought we'd get there and disrupt. But 3 straight first down plays for the Huskies. They send out a second tight end again. See if we can try and exploit that.
We've got a 1st and 10. Ball on their own 42.
Because even if he does catch it, he's just not fast enough to do anything with it. Goes into motion again. And halfback gets the call again.
He makes it to the
3
45-yard
yards.
line. A couple, maybe 3
Defensively, our
yards on
best
that run.
effort of the drive.
That'll make it 2nd and 7.
And 2nd and 7, they send the backup tight end to the bench. 3 wideouts. We'll settle back into our 3-3-5. And
Second
see
and
if we
7.
can't force
Ball
them
on the
into a 3rd
45.
down. Halfback split left. He will stay, so we send Preston.
Scrambling around.
Quarterback scrambles out of
At
it.
the 50-yard
Finally, after the 3rd man to touch his jersey, brings him down to the floor. We do force that 3rd down, but it could have been a lot better. 3rd and 2 as they bring a fullback out. And we are going to step into the 4-3 stack again.
It's 3rd down, and they're about 2 yards shy of the sticks.
They send their tight end out left. They do run like we expected.
Heading for the
They
corner.
break the first
He's
tackle,
taken
but not
down
enough to
around the
break up the
45-yard
third.
line.
And a
Just nowhere for
6-yard
the ball
loss
carrier to go as
leads
the
to
linebacker
4th and
met him in the
7.
backfield.
Boy, what
Definitely
great
the stand
play
we needed to
recognition
open
by
the
this
game after
linebacker.
throwing that
He saw the
interception.
run was coming,
Big
and
time
he
for
just
the Sun
shot through
Devils.
the gap and made a great tackle.
All right.
Matthews to punt. He punts it away.
And we'll just
and
watch
it's
this
a
one
great
bounce
kick.
into the end zone.
This
and
one
we'll
will
start
go
the
into
drive
end
at the
zone,
20.
And they'll bring it out to the 20.
If you're just joining us, the first offensive possession was an interception at the 8-yard line, trying to go across the middle. Middle linebacker wasn't having any of it and got both his mitts on it, picked it off. So,
They've
we
got to
started
play
the
with
20
some focus
trying to
and
have a
smarts
better
here.
drive
They don't want to make a mistake and suddenly find
after the
themselves
defense
trailing.
got their offense off the field. He'll start with a
Fires out to his receiver,
first down
and he's
completion to
taken
Steve
down
Tucker,
at the
who gets a
31.
lot of
This guy
yards
has
after
an
the
innate
catch.
ability to get just enough distance from a defender to make a completion possible. You don't see it from every receiver, but this guy's got it.
First down, 10 to go. Ball on the 31.
try to go to Smiley.
That's the kind of field
Jeff
vision you
Oliver,
want out
man,
of your
who intercepted the
linebackers.
ball
They
earlier,
have to
gets a
play well in
deflection. So
coverage,
our
and
two
they have to be able to break
incompletions
up pass plays.
are because of that guy right over the middle. And we have a 2nd and 10.
So it's 2nd and 10. Ball on the 31-yard line.
Middle linebacker sitting there again. And they bring the safety, so we're going to audible into a pass play. And we find down the the right side, Steve Tucker again for a first down. Calling the audible
That's
was
just
the
a
right
nice
call.
gain on 2nd down.
As we stayed composed in the pocket with the corner coming on that right side as well. So they definitely sent the house on that play. 1st and 10 as we are looking to break into Husky territory for the 2nd time in as many drives.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 48-yard line.
Going to go to Lawrence Gonzalez here again. Go to the left. And not much going on there as he stopped at the first contact. 2 yards on first.
That makes it 2nd and 8.
From midfield, 2nd down. And they've got the dime package in there to try and deal with this 5-receiver look.
Over the middle again, Steve Tucker. Oh, reliable fumbles the football. Oh, and if that stands, it'll be our 2nd turnover in 2 drives. He catches it over the middle, makes a couple steps, and I think they're going to overrule this. I think the ground forced the fumble, but the moment of truth is when we press this defensive play, if they review it. And they do. Okay, so it will be our football because NCAA 14, I have never once in probably 75 plus instances of a fumble review seen them not overturn it. So the quick review
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
does reverse it, and
So after review, they
Steve
decide
Tucker
that this
did
call
come up
should be
clutch, all
reversed.
reliable. Gets a first down as well to go along with his other ones. And 42-yard line as well, where they will spot it.
They come out in a 5-wide set.
Their first time running 3 down linemen.
Now he's scrambling.
Fuck, they get to
I don't
me
think
trying
the
to
offense
sprint
did a
out
very
right.
good job of recognizing the corner blitz.
Shouldn't have even
Quarterback's
run out
got
of
to do a better
the
job of using his
my
eyes to
offensive
recognize
tackles
the
are
blitz,
really
and
tired.
also, it would have helped if the wide receiver would
They're
have
not
been pointing
tired.
like crazy at
Just
the corner, letting the quarterback know, hey, we've got a blitz
don't have the
here.
stats to
That's
keep
is a
up.
big-time miscommunication by the offense.
So 2nd and 22.
So the sack
Behind
makes
the 8
this a
ball here,
2nd
we need
and
to get a
long.
chunk play to set up a manageable
They'll
3rd
spread
down.
the field here. Let's see what the defense does with a 5-wide outlook. He's in trouble. Deep
As we
ball
chuck it
right
up
back
downfield.
there.
That one
You
is
don't
broken
ever
up.
give your opponent a
We
second
saw the
chance,
one-on-one
but
coverage.
That's exactly what they did by not making that interception.
3rd and 22 now. We've used 8 of our 12 allocated 4th down attempts on the year, so probably not wanting to use one on this drive. We'll see, though. So we're going to spread them out wide once again
3rd down,
with
and
5
they
wide
get it down to
receivers
the
after we
32.
saw their
They'll line up with 5 wide receivers.
personnel at the start of the game. I
He's level at
pressed the
33.
throwaway button
And for Hall,
well
that
before
was
they
his
arrived.
second
But
sack of the game.
they get another
The big
sack,
boys up front better make some adjustments. It's
and we
only
will
the
have to
first
punt on
quarter.
4th and
They're
35.
letting this kid get into the backfield way too easily.
Not a great punt. We already knew it as soon as we released the
He's
stick.
to the 40. Tries to get around the corner.
And they bring it out
Makes
almost to
the
midfield, a
48-yard
20-yard
line. You talk
return.
about our meetings this week with the defensive coordinators,
As you
and
can
this
see,
is
they
what they were hoping for, that they can
have
control the
definitely
line
had
of scrimmage.
success on
These
defensive
players must
side,
have
but
been
they haven't
listening
scored
pretty
yet
intently
on
because that's
offense.
exactly
Our
what we've
defense
seen.
got
This
off
defense
the
has
field
come
as they run out
they've
4 wide
controlled
receivers
things
for the
early,
first
trying
time
to
today.
set the tone. It's really going to be up to both
Something
of
we
these
were hoping that
offenses
we
to try to
could
make some
avoid,
adjustments and try to be able to come after them
because
in some way.
And so far, it's been
their wide
totally
receiver core might be
in close
some of the
games
strongest
like this,
part of their
every
team.
possession is likely to matter.
Welcome in, Danny. As they go left, steps out of bounds, 6-yard completion.
That'll make it 2nd and 4.
They send their tight end back out. It's all good, Danny. They are pretty good roster, honestly.
So it's 2nd down now, and they need about 4 yards to pick up the first.
And run out the first quarter. We are scoreless after one.
We played one. No score
That was the
here.
big play of the first quarter for sure. Going over the top for 41 yards, but 2 sacks on the second drive as they shipped them there. Stalled any chance of us scoring there. But this defensive slugfest continues
Even first quarter as we head into
as
quarter number
Washington
2.
steps into Arizona State territory for the first time all game. And they'll get even further.
And they make
Good
the stop
completion,
right
gets
around
14 on the
32
left.
yard line.
And my secondary is struggling to cope with their receivers. 2 tight ends. Okay, here's where we can feast. We talked about it earlier. Their second tight end is exceptionally weak, which allows us to run either a QB spy, which I think we will here,
First down, 10
or
yards
that
to go.
4-3 flat.
Ball on the 32.
We'll user this tight end. They'll put him in motion. And, oh, what looked like great coverage, and ended up only being 1 yard carry. Looked like we could hit him in the backfield, but we wrap him up for just a 1 yard gain, so 2nd and 9.
It's 2nd and 9. Ball on the 32 yard line.
And my goodness, just getting
Touchdown,
torched.
out of bounds.
What happened here? How does that route crush you that much? So they break into the red zone for the first time today, and we'll see if we can't keep them out of it.
From the 14 yard line. First down.
They run the delayed handoff, and after a kind of shitty animation, they pick up 8. So 2nd and 2 from the 5. And they will send out their second tight end.
They're crowding the line.
And a good tackle
Back, and he's hit immediately in the
means a
backfield.
3rd and 3. He didn't break that one.
That makes it 3rd and 3.
See what we can come up with here now, as they send out a fullback and a tight end.
They need about 3 yards to get the first down here on 3rd down.
We'll go man single coverage out left again. Oh, great play, and the face mask to boot. As they catch us on the reverse, we were expecting them to run left after they sent that man in motion. So they'll have 4 tries from the 1 yard line.
Gives up some free
Pretty
yards
much
to the
a
offense.
You know, penalties can
guaranteed
ruin a team's
score
chances
unless we
to
can
win if they commit
do
too
something
many.
exceptional.
First down, and they've got their eyes on that goal line. They come out in a goal line set.
Well,
Dives, and he's down.
nothing
Picked
there.
up a yard of anything on
Except
that run.
maybe
One thing the coaches
half
always
a
say
foot,
about this
as they're still
sophomore
at the
is
1.
that he has great lateral movement. That lets him move well behind this defensive line and get after a lot of plays in the running game.
It's the 9th play of the drive. Tackle.
Stop him
Just
again.
outside the
3rd and
line.
goal from the 1. 2 0-yard rushes. 2 tight ends, a fullback. You know that they're sending the house here. Or trying to pound it in, I should say. There's a chance they run play action, but
That brings up 3rd and goal. Ball on the 1 yard line.
We
Gotta
just
be
have to
careful of a
sell
pass
out.
play with this defense.
we do sell out, but they bounce off the first tackler. And Jason White, their fullback, breaks the deadlock and opens up the scoring. So 7-0.
Reese Davis is
The
standing
Huskies
by
take the
with
lead.
some.
Hey,
Reese.
Scobby,
The
thanks for the
Beavers
follow.
come into today's game ranked number 22 in the country. And for
We
Oregon
got Gilbert
State,
on
they're
cam. He
looking
is
to
taking
win
a
2 in
snooze,
row.
so you don't really get to see him very well, but he's vibing.
Matthews looks ready to kick this one off. He just drills this one.
We are going to actually take this one out. Mason's not seen any game time
He's to
today,
the
so he
10.
should have fresh legs.
Looking for the corner.
Gets
Steps out of
nowhere.
bounds At the 19.
I just
Really
love to
struggling
watch
to
this
get
defense
any
play.
burst
They've been
there.
flying all over the field today, making
We start at
big
the
play
19.
after big play. The crazy thing is, we still have such a close
We're going to have
game
to
despite
exploit
how
the
well
few
they
things
play.
that we know we
In a
can,
game that's this close, you
which
can't
is
afford
the
to lose
stamina
possessions.
of their defensive line and the fact that they're lining up with 4 defensive linemen. J.J. Kemp
Gains his way to the
gets nearly a
29-yard
first
line.
as a 9.5-yard run there. 2nd and inches, so a lot of coaches like to go over the top here, maybe a play action. The old idiom, or whatever you want to call it, cliche, is that 2nd and short's the
It's
offensive
second
coordinator's
down, and they're
favorite
about the length of the football
down and
from the
distance,
first
but
down marker.
I like to run it with Gonzalez. Picking up a first down in this game is so huge for individual players'
And
momentum,
he's tackled after
and
positive
getting your
yardage.
running
That's
back
good enough to
momentum
pick
and
up the
heat
first down.
Good
is really
play
important.
here. Getting a new set of downs and keeping the
Gives
run
it more
an
burst
integral
as soon
part
as he
of
gets
this
the ball.
offense.
Just overall something you really should try and do if you have the faculties.
From their own 34-yard line. First down.
Can the offense respond?
He's on the run.
Dump it to Gonzalez, but instead of running forward as I expected him to, he just turns, looks at me, and has no burst after catching it, losing 5 yards. God, that was a devastating pass play. I think we need to stretch him out a little more. We talked about it pregame,
Second down. and
how
they've
they
got
don't
15
have the
for the first
defensive
down. Ball on their own
secondary to
29,
be able to cope
5
with
wide.
our players, and they're going to send a safety. Okay, let's see what he does. He does go, so we've got B wide open. Barron picks up the first 15 yards.
Fisher on the tackle at the 44-yard line. That makes it 1st and 10.
Definitely not the play for them to send the safety, as the other safety was sprinting in to make the tackle.
From their own 44-yard line. It's first down. He's scrambling.
throw it
It's a
away as
bad play
we're
overall by the
crushed
offense.
outside the
Quarterback's
pocket.
doing everything he can to be able
See
to
if
make
Kemp's
the play
okay.
work and try to execute. The
He
problem
is, but we
the
have
offensive
2nd and
line
10 now.
did not do a good job protecting him.
That left
They're very
tackle's a little
fortunate
tired. That
ball
whole
wasn't
left side of the
intercepted.
offensive line is struggling a little bit. .330 left in the half
Second
here
down and 10 to go.
in what's been a really
Ball on the 44-yard line.
low-scoring affair. All right, we'll try the read option. It will be J.J. Kemp who gets a crucial block in front of him
He makes
and
his
gets
way to
8
about
of the 10
48.
needed yards, setting up a much more manageable 3rd down.
Third down.
All right, do we go to all reliable play, run left, or do we run a pass play here out of the ace? I think we're going to run a pass play. Give us the option in case
So it's
JJ
third
can
down,
scramble.
they've got about 2
They
yards
will
to
run
go.
3 down linemen, which is the first time they've done it when we have a halfback in the game. We'll see what shows itself. Over the middle is Steve
Fires
Tucker,
out to his wideout.
the man
He's
on a
taken
mission
down
this
at the
game. He's got
33-yard line.
another first down.
15 yards. First down.
And he's been the guy we can go to. The Corey Wayne replacement. He's not a tight end, so not exactly Corey Wayne, but Corey Wayne was always good for a first down last season whenever we needed him.
And this is the 8th play of the drive.
JJ
A
heating up
quarterback
just a
in the
touch.
gun with 5 receivers.
Just what we need. So he'll go out to the right to Anderson.
And
He'll
he's
get
taken
near a
down
first
right
down, and we
around
will
the
go into the
24-yard
hurry up
line.
to try and exploit this
That'll make it
secondary.
2nd and inches.
They'll spread the field with 5 wide. He scrambled.
Got Smiley with the
So they'll
one-handed
pick up a
catch. All
first
right.
down there on a
Not
4-yard
really
completion.
necessary, but
Nothing special here. Quick pass,
it'll
a
juice
good
him up a
catch,
little
but
bit,
it keeps the
and
chains
we'll
moving.
hit the under 2. No 2-minute warning in college football, but we'll use a little bit of time here. Let the players rest a little bit,
This is the 10th play of this
and they're
drive.
going to stick with 3 down linemen. Interesting. So, probably going to audible out of this. And we go to Steve Tucker, who
Big
is
play
open
there, and
out of
now
the
they're looking
tight
for first
end
and
route.
goal.
Maybe he is the next Corey Wayne. He's a larger framed possession wide receiver. And he picks up the first down to get us the furthest we've been so far in the game, the 7-yard line of the Huskies.
It's first
Can
down,
we
and they'll
punch
be
it in
looking for
before the
6
break?
points here. The defense gets set as they hope to create another red zone turnover.
Oh, it's batted
Knock it
away.
away.
Tight end didn't
Excellent
turn
pass
around in
defense.
time. That's all right,
Gotta
though.
be able to make a light
2nd
quick
and
reaction
goal.
to bat the ball away like
Minute
he did
8
right there.
on the clock. Let's let that right side of the offensive line catch their breath a little bit. Number 78, you can see, is getting pretty orange.
We're at the 12th play of the drive. The cavalry's coming. Fires that
Oh,
quickly,
they looked
incomplete.
open cutting back
Sometimes the
across, but
toughest throws to make for
kind of a
quarterback
wimpy pass
is when he
play.
has a wide
And 3rd and
receiver
goal now
wide
from the
open,
7s.
and
We haven't
everybody in
gained
the stands is
anything
saying,
since stepping
"Throw
into
it,
goal to
throw it."
go.
And you aim the football instead of just
The
getting
right
back in
tight end,
rhythm,
or excuse me, the
stepping,
right
and
tackle
throwing.
now
That time he
is off the field, and we got our backup in, so gonna have to look at that.
Play 13 of the current drive.
Backup. All right, here we go.
Now he tries to buy some time.
Kemp is going to run. Get hit short. Wasn't going to risk throwing it into coverage. And we're just going to waste away the clock and kick a field goal, I guess. Really depressing end to that drive. After it seemed so promising. So 3 offensive drives.
4th down. This one should be makeable.
Let's see how this one ends.
The kick is
3
up.
points
Even though they gave up
from
a
3
field goal here, that
drives.
defense is
Not a
feeling
good
pretty
average.
about themselves right now. It could have
2
just
of
as
those
easily been a
drives
touchdown.
stalling in the red zone. And with 23 seconds left, Washington will get the ball back. They also get the ball back out of halftime, so
And he got
not
all
great.
of this one. Great kick.
they will take this one out of
He's to
the
the
end
20.
zone
Tackle
and
at the
get hit
25
at
yard
about the
line.
25.
Give the defense credit, but right now they explore a case of sloppy offense.
Yeah, you got to recognize that both defenses have come into this game with the right mindset. They're very well prepared. But I'm with you. It's one thing to have great defense. It's another thing when those defenses are going up against offenses that just are not clicking right now and hitting on all cylinders.
There hasn't been too much daylight between these two teams. In games like this, some players
All right,
try to
they're
press too
guaranteed to
much,
run
and that
the
can
ball
cause
here.
mistakes. Washington holds a 4-point lead.
And pick
He makes his way
up
to
a
about
first
the
and call
38.
timeout.
Anytime this guy carries the ball and gets a little space, we could be talking
So-
about 6.
The Huskies taking their first time out of the half.
We'll step into the quarter.
1st and 10. Ball on their own 38.
They run. And against
Gets
the
out
quarter,
to
it
around
definitely
the
worked.
48. Washington's going to have to use their second time
And their
out
second
of the half.
time out there at the midway point now. Almost 48 yards.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on their own 48. He's going left.
No
Nice
way.
catch. First down. He's knocked out.
Oh, now they're probably going to get 3 out of this stupid 25-second drive.
Arizona State just took their first time out.
We step back into the quarter and they still are able to throw over the top
So
of
they
us. How
decide
does
to
that
bring
happen?
the kicker out to try to get 3 points before the half ends. It has
He
the distance.
fucking nails
and
it.
he just drilled
Damn.
it from long range. With only a few ticks left on the clock before halftime, I would expect they'll just squib kick this one.
They don't squib it,
Nice
so we'll
kick,
have
plenty
one
of
last
distance.
offensive play. No time for us to get a field goal, but we can chuck something up and see what happens.
Momentum swings have been fairly even. And with so little separation, this game can be drastically changed on just 1 or 2 plays. They spread the field in the gun with 5 wide receivers. Going deep.
There it is. He catches it.
He goes
Can he
up.
get away from him? Oh, he
And he's
can't.
tackled
The
at the 11-yard
diving
line.
tackle. Oh, and Barron
We've
picks up
played a
about,
half. Washington leads it
I don't know,
10-3.
75 yards or whatever on that play. Or I guess it started at the 25, so about 65 yards. But no
We played 30
touchdown.
minutes. Glad to have you
And
with us on
after all
EA
that excitement to
Sports
end
NCAA.
the half, it will just be 10-3 take a look at a couple game stats before we send it to the break. 11 first downs to 9. We're beating them in total offense. They've got us in rushing yards, that's for sure. We've got them in passing yards, no problem. Third down conversions have been tough, but this is the big one. 3 red zone trips, 1 field goal. I guess that last red zone trip doesn't really count. Didn't even get a play. That 1 turnover, definitely killer. Yeah, time of possession, we've over tripled them. So it's the way it goes. We'll be right back after a few moments. All right. Oh, he's awake. Check it out. He's on camera. Probably heard me come in and was like, oh shit, I'm being broadcast to the world.
Show presented by Nissan. Innovation that excites.
All right, Reese, David, thanks,
Okay.
guys. Just about set
Heading
to
into the
start
second half.
third
They
quarter.
receive the ball and they're up 7. So defensively, we're going to need to stop.
He kicks it off. And
Turnover would be even better, of course, but got to start
And it goes into the
manageably.
end zone, down for a touchback.
And defensively, we have been all over them. So as they start with a fullback and a tight end, we definitely feel
to see how the action shakes out
we
in
got
this
a
series.
chance.
Washington is up 7.
Play action, though. Oh, and just a shit commit from the secondary
And he's finally shoved out
leads to a
at the 43.
32-yard completion. He committed to the short man. Watch this. It just ducks away as soon as he throws. Frustrating. And just like that, they're in our territory.
Now it's 1st and 10 with a defense trying to regroup
All
after
right.
giving up the big pass.
We go again. And they go over the middle for another completion. They're just gashing
the
us.
33.
We're going to have to change something up, or else this game is cooked.
Second and 1.
Dial up the pressure usually is the response. Don't let them fire from inside the pocket, and that's just what happens. He scrambles, and he has all the room in the world.
And they make the stop at the 13-yard
Thanks for
line.
the follow. Appreciate it. As you watch us get pulverized by this Russian quarterback.
First and 10.
And
Ball
they're
on
in
the 13.
the red zone yet again.
Got some open field. Touchdown, Huskies.
Oh, and the Huskies put together a 1-minute touchdown drive to open the second half after we held them to just 10 points in the first half. Gash us completely. Thank you for appreciating the Gilbert Cam. He's back asleep right now.
He makes the PAT. A 4-play, 74-yard drive.
My favorite
And they
team
put up 7 points.
in
You
college
always
sports, it
prepare
is
your
the
offense
Iowa
to think that we're going to
Hawkeyes.
have some success. But these guys got to be coming over the sidelines after touchdown saying, man, I didn't expect it to be this easy.
But in this
Matthews
uh,
is lined up to kick this
NCAA
off.
universe, they are
Sends it sailing downfield.
dog shit. So I don't, even if they offered me the job, I don't know if I would take it. Because it would take many years to bring them back from the depths, and there are plenty other users in this dynasty that would crush me if given the chance when I'm at Iowa. What about you? What's your favorite team?
There's got to be some sense of
As
urgency.
they bring out
to
4
this
down
offense
linemen,
right
so
now.
they convert back to
don't
that.
have
They
the
got the
luxury of
1 middle
wasting
linebacker,
drives if they want to
and
get
then
back
single
in the
coverage
game.
with 2 safeties. We're going to try and rush it again with Kemp. Just kidding, with the option we handed off to Gonzalez, who's
And he tackles him
moving
hard
for
at the
14.
39.
West Virginia, all right. We've got a guy who is in our save here, in our dynasty, who is not only playing as West Virginia, but is a massive West Virginia fan. He graduated from there and actually runs a stats page for them on Twitter. He's a really good data guy for the Mountaineers.
From their own 39-yard line.
As they go
First down.
3 down linemen here. They are going to run it with Gonzalez again. Can he bust it? Not really.
Right around
1
the
yard.
40. Gonzalez gets about a yard on the play.
And he
Nothing
took a
there.
shot on that play,
5
Brad.
average is
It
honestly
looks
pretty
like his
good,
head
but
might be still ringing a
when
little
you're
bit.
in this type of scenario, it's just, you're looking for big boomer bust plays.
2nd and 9 coming up here. Ball on the 40-yard line.
We'll send the star of the show, Lawrence Gonzalez, out wide. Go over the middle for Scott. Picks up a first. Nice 15-yard completion with the route. Cut inside and ditched the linebacker in the process.
To get him the first down. That's just a nice play.
J.J. Kemp was pummeled as he threw that ball, but an accurate pass.
First down, 10 to go.
And when we go into the pistol, they drop into their 3-down linemen. So gonna have to change up the play. We ditch it to Smiley out of the backfield. He stepped into that fullback role, and we said, "There's no way in hell you're blocking, so go run, son." And he picks up 6.
So it's 2nd down now, and they need about 4 yards to pick up the first.
4-down lineman again here.
They come out in an empty backfield.
We're going to send Anderson into the middle across. See what we can get.
He scrambled.
Oh, he was breaking open, but of course, when you've got a man open downfield, it's probably because you're under pressure back home. 3rd and 4. This is starting to get into territory where you might have to go for it. There's not much time left, about 13 minutes left in the game.
They're about 4 yards away here on 3rd down.
They converted once on 3rd down all game. The offense has just been putrid, while the defense has kept us in it completely. We will get the first here as a pretty errant throw for the route that was run. Does end up getting completed. And we'll see if our 3rd true red zone trip will actually end with a touchdown this time. We're not quite there yet, but staring at the edge of it.
From the 26-yard line.
4-down linemen now. And 3 linebackers, which means we're going to try and abuse this secondary that we talked about so much in the pregame. Here we go. Chucking it up. Touchdown, Sun Devils. Robert Warren on the left-hand side. We sent 2 fly routes on either side. Barron was well covered, but the left corner could not cope. And we spotted it right away for 6. And cutting this lead in half. But the Huskies hold. 7 plays, 72 yards, 2:41 off the clock. Not as good as their probably 4-play, 75-yard drive that took a minute, but we move. And now we hand the onus back onto the defense, who has definitely helped us so far in this game, helped us keep us in this game. Simpson can't reach the paint, and they'll have a chance to take this one out. About 30, I would guess. 27 instead.
I think it's going to continue, Brad. I think the adjustments that were made at halftime.
Let's see what adjustments we can make.
And really be able to take command of how they want to.
They reached the end zone last time.
Come down to that final drive. The quarterback did a really good
on
job
the back
in the
of
last
their
drive
quarterback.
Of his receivers in space, and I bet he'll be looking to do the same
thing again. Being a menace on the ground and through the air.
He's on the run.
And here he is on the ground again. The ball's loose. We pick it up. It's Fulcher. He's going to run toward the end zone. He's got blockers. Fulcher into the end zone. We'll see if it was a true fumble or not, but finally punished perhaps, as they have been scrambling all game out of the pocket. We will see if it's a true fumble, and if it is a complete change of momentum. Oh, we really just have to hope and pray that when we press PAT, they don't hit review. And they don't. It's 6 points defensively for the Sun Devils, and it ties up this ball game. The quick fire double from the boys in Tempe. And the Huskies are stunned. Their 17-3 lead evaporates in the span of 30 seconds. We were talking so much game about our defense, and they came up in a massive way, scoring half of the touchdowns so far. As Simpson will reach the paint on this one, and he should take a knee, and does.
This one's going to be down in the end zone for a touchback.
Big time. Their offense steps back onto the field against our rejuvenated defense. A tight end and a fullback. So which means we'll step into a two-man under out of the 4-3.
I know as a quarterback, it's always hard to
And
watch
they'll
the
probably
defense
just hand
score a
this ball
touchdown
off.
on you. But it was
No, they
always
will
a
go into play
reminder to
action
take
and
extra
strike
care of the football.
across with a good post route. That route has just been destroying us all day. And his second post route reception. 54 yards total for him. And while we can celebrate all we want with that defensive touchdown, we have to step back into gear when we can't force big plays like that.
First down.
We're going to user this safety here in Cooper. As we get a good user tackle on the left side. Tony Williams, another catch, his third. But this time, stopped short of the line to gain. 2nd and 5. We are going to go into that 4-3 we had before, but we're going to go with a different play.
From the 47-yard line.
A little bit of zone to try and mix things up. They are going to run it, but they can get 2-3 key blocks there. Neil Hunter with his best run of the day.
We could be talking about 6.
And 2nd and 5, quickly forgotten about. Alrighty. We're going to use her this safety again, though.
Scrambling around.
Oh, and we can't get him again. Looked like we had the angle, but he just couldn't slow down his momentum to bring the quarterback into a tackle. 2 tight ends. We've talked about this all throughout the game. This is the way we can exploit their offense. When they send out this shitter of a second tight end play. See if they send him in motion like they have all game. They do not. They send another man in motion, though. Do a delayed handoff. He runs right into a Sun Devil and is brought down for a 1-yard loss. Benny Charles with the tackle for loss. All right. We're going to break into the dollar here. Send a little bit of pressure.
2nd down and 11. Ball on the 20.
God damn, I'm so bad one-on-one in space. Oh, God. These sliders combined with my inability to pick the right angle leads to the Huskies reclaiming their lead. I just got sent by that move. It's even worse in user games, watching me try and tackle in space. It's really ugly. 24-17 as the Huskies strike back with another quick drive. This one took about 90 or so seconds.
I think that's what led them to those big runs.
Washington gets set to kick this one away. Nice kick, plenty of distance.
And we'll just kneel this one out here.
Into the end zone, down for a touchback.
Start at the 25. And try to respond.
This deficit can be easily overcome.
3 down linemen.
But they have to be thinking if they don't get something going on this series,
like
the
that
burden is going to be
when we
felt by
send
their defense.
Gonzalez into space. And Space he does have. Gets a good block. Let's hope it's not a block in the back. The animation looked kind of ugly, but it was not. So 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and 1.
Definitely manageable through the ground here. They'll put 3 on the line again. And we're going to go to Gonzalez on the floor. He pushes forward for a first and a little bit more, scampering for 8. And we're really trying to heat him up. Get that orange circle underneath him instead of a clear see-through one. Hey, Danny and Tenny, you should see what the rest of the Camel boys are up to. See if they can hop in here.
It's 1st and 10.
If we're gonna get affiliate, we're gonna need to get those numbers pumped up a little bit. We go to Gonzalez again, over the middle, 9 yards. He's cooking now.
8 yards. That brings up 2nd and 1.
And he's a little tired, so we're gonna go to the 5 wide set. 5 wide receivers, tight, I should say. And run cluster bunch for the first time.
A few feet away from that 1st down marker. They'll spread the field with 5 wide. Now
he's open on the right side. And that closing time was nuts from that corner. It wasn't the best of throws, but even better was him closing it down. He could have picked that off, and I would have had no right to complain. 3rd and 1. After giving a play of rest to Gonzalez, we're going to hand the ball off to him and trust in him to get not only the first, but his team into Husky territory. 4 down linemen, that's a little scary for a run like this. But he gets the first, no problem.
For a nice gain.
Gain of 6 yards. 1st down.
Tulane wins at Alabama. Going into Tuscaloosa and getting a win. That's crazy. They run 5 wide again.
He's scrambling.
Going to go over the top. He's open. Is he going to catch it? He does! David Barron. It looks like he got both feet down. He only needed one. We chucked it up as he beat that safety over the top, and this 3rd quarter is electric. What a throw from J.J. Kemp. And he was in, no review necessary. 24 all. How about this 3rd quarter on both sides of the ball for the Sun Devils? Down 17-3 with 7 minutes left in the 3rd. We charge back to tie it 24-24. Still with time remaining in this 3rd quarter. We saw the Huskies put up a field goal with just 20-odd seconds left in the 1st half.
And he got all of this one. Great kick.
And they'll kneel it to start at the 25 here.
The Sun Devil staff has got a winner on their hands. You've been around kids like this. They're just fun to be around.
They're fun to be around, and I think it's infectious. His attitude, I think, permeates throughout
all right, they step into that.
Really, throughout the entire team. It's no wonder
fullback tight end set, and we're going to
front leading the way.
Have to be wary about that post route on the right side.
Up a little bit when games stay close well into the second
or
half.
the left side, I suppose, now. That's where Williams is going to operate. As we just cannot switch to a player and feel comfortable controlling him. Just getting abused. Another first. I feel like I've just gotten worse at it. I've played an unhealthy amount of NCAA football. And I feel like I've just gotten worse at it over time.
37-yard line. It's 1st down. Room around the corner.
Can't break through the
Good outside run there.
blockers, but we do get him as the second man on the scene tackles him for just a 4-yard gain. Neil Hunter definitely breaking into stride here. A lot of it is just small bites, but 106 and 2 is nothing to sneeze at.
2nd and 6. Ball on the 41.
And they will have a 3rd down now. So the first play to start the 4th quarter will be a pivotal 3rd and 3 for the Husky offense.
So at the end of the
Can we get them off the field and try and snatch our first lead of the ball game? Or will they convert? 2 tight ends. We have to stick with our guns. We have to stick with what we believe has worked best against this formation.
All-important 4th quarter.
They're not. Oh, they are going to send a man in motion. Okay. We can't stop them short. I swear we've got the men in the box, but another 1st down. And another chance to step back
Ball on their own 49.
and think about what we can do differently. They're going to run
He's tackled at the
a
50-yard
delayed
line.
handoff
And
for
he
just
gets a
1 yard
on
as
the
we
run.
swarm to that player
That brings up 2nd and 9.
at exactly midfield now. Another delayed handoff and another good Neil Hunter run. 3rd and 3.
That's a gain of 6 on the play. That makes it 3rd and
3rd and 3. Here we go.
And here's another 3rd down.
Run the option.
Grabs a pitch,
We
looking for
committed
the
to the
quarterback.
quarterback like we've
Makes his way
said to
out
do
about
all
35.
game, and it happens on this critical 3rd down, their first option try. We sell out for the quarterback, make contact, but he pitches it at the perfect time. Another 1st.
And this play is number 8
Can
on
we
the drive.
keep the Huskies out of the end zone? They cut across
Complete. Knocked out of bounds at the 11.
and step into the red zone yet again. And for the first time, they'll step into a 5 wide receiver set.
This is the 9th play of this drive.
I think what we're going to do is
In the shotgun and
commit to
5
the
wide
pass, but expect that he might just step right into a quarterback run. He does not.
Now he tries to buy
But he
some time.
delay quarterback
And they
runs it,
get
and
the
we
sack.
get him for the sack. So it wasn't a design QB run, but he stepped back into his laurels and decided, I'm just going to run this thing anyway. Warren was on the scene, and 2nd and 13 is the scene.
So it's 2nd down and 13 yards to go following that quarterback sack.
Another handoff. And another sequence of
Touchdown, Huskies.
unreal blocking. As the Huskies take another.
He's been a force getting to pay dirt 3 times.
If I were the head coach of
Man,
this
he was
football
put on the
team, I
floor,
would give him the
frame
ball
one.
at least 30 times a game.
How does that happen? And how does he fall forward?
Washington
not blocking
with a
back.
6-point lead.
Regardless,
He
we
makes
trail
the PAT.
31-24.
Let's throw it out to Reese now for a studio update.
The Green Waves were ranked 21st.
As what we talked about earlier, Alabama falls to 3-8. This save has not been kind to them.
Won 3 in a row. And for Clancy, he had a touchdown pass in this one. The Green Wave grabs the W by a touchdown.
They line up to kick this one away.
No
Excellent
chance
kick.
we're taking this one out. 5:58 remaining in the fourth. This has to be 7 points on this touch. Or on this, we might as well call it a touchdown drive on this drive. Because if it's not,
This is a pretty crucial series right here, with things being so tight. Your
You can
best
put your
players have
stamp
to
on this
step it
one
up on both sides of the ball.
and send it. J.J. Kemp will run. He's got blockers. He's got
He's knocked out
the
of bounds
moves
at the 41.
for 16, a first, and a little bit of momentum for the offense to start the drive.
First down, 10 to go. Ball on the 41-yard
Look at
line.
that offensive line.
They come
A
out
lot
in
of
an
yellow.
empty backfield.
See what these wide receivers can do.
He scrambles.
He's open. Over the top. He dives for the catch. Steve
He
Tucker,
hits the 300-yard
27
line.
in the air.
This young man really works at it, and it's always
Really
a
wish he
boost
could
to
have
see
caught it
that
and
hard
run,
work
but
reflected in the box score. He should be very
we will take
pleased.
that. Three down
They've got
linemen.
first and 10.
Just what we want to
Ball on the
see.
32-yard
Two
line.
linebackers, though. Not exactly what we want to see, as we're going to hand it off to Gonzalez. Good blocking, though.
Tackle after
Gets
a
us
decent
half the
run
way
up
there.
gut.
That's a gain of 5 on the play. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Time to run AP's favorite play, a version of stick,
2nd and 5 coming up
against
here.
their 4-down
Ball on
set.
the 27. He's going to try and scramble.
And he's wide open.
Catches it, and he's
Gonzalez
looking for more.
cooking,
And
looking.
he's shoved out of bounds at the 4-yard
23 yards. We'll have a 1st and goal from the 4.
That makes it 1st and goal.
This game is shaping up to be a good one. A good finish.
It's 1st and goal, and they need a touchdown.
One linebacker and 4 D linemen. Can we punch it in? Lawrence Gonzalez gets the call. He'll cut right, push,
And he's taken down.
and get
at the
3
1-yard
yards
line.
out of the 4 needed.
That brings up 2nd and
2nd and goal from the 1.
From the 1-yard line. 2nd down.
Flip the play. And we'll walk it in untouched. J.J. Kemp ties the ball game. 24-all.
It takes a lot of strength to run it when you're heading into a massive pile of bodies. Good job of holding on to it and getting it across the goal line.
Will be tied with the extra point.
And we do kick
He
the
splits
PAT
uprights
through,
with the
so
extra point. Reese
31
joining us in the
apiece.
studio with this update. Reese?
with minimal time left. 3:49 to be exact.
The Sun Devils
Simpson
lined up
ready
for
to
the
kick.
kickoff.
We'll boot this one away. They'll probably take it out because we didn't get full
He
power on
really
it.
got a hold of that kick.
We'll see. They will.
He's to the 20.
Here he comes, cutting across. He's got a chance.
Tackle at the
We
42.
do tackle him before he can break truly into space, but a nice return sets up the Huskies at the 42 with 3:43 remaining.
The other team comes right back and puts another touchdown.
Can the
on
defense
board.
put
This is
one
getting
last
exciting.
clamp on this thing?
We might have overtime in the back of our minds, but down on the field, that hasn't occurred to anyone. They want to end this thing in regulation.
Let's go. Green 90. Green 90.
He's on the run.
I was using him the whole time, knowing that perhaps he could push outside, and he did. A 5-yard sack, just the start we needed on this drive. Benny Charles, just keeping one eye on the quarterback as he worked worked that lineman.
It's 2nd and 15. Ball on their own 37.
What are they going to do to try and respond? They do another delayed handoff. We're ready for it this time. 3rd and 13 now. Can we get the stop on 3rd down? They've been huge on 3rd downs today. Have the Huskies. They step in with 2 halfbacks who both run out. And over the top, we cannot force the incompletion. They just gash right in the middle of that zone. What is that animation?
You don't see it from every receiver, but this guy's got it.
God damn, he just deleted that corner with a weird animation. On 3rd and 13, they get the 1st down. And we have to step back to the drawing board.
From the 43-yard line.
As the clock
First
moves.
down.
Something we really aren't fond of. As the second man arrives on the scene, we get another shit animation as he flips over the defender tackling him for 4 yards. 2:30 now. And we really can't afford to have them get any closer before we have to start taking timeouts. Because their kicker can nail these. As we saw earlier in the first half. They run a handoff, touch him in the backfield. We can't bring him down until just there, and we are going to take a timeout. 3rd and 2 from the 35. Oh, here it is. A lot of the game rests on this play.
It's 3rd down, and they're about 2 yards shy of the sticks.
What will we do on 3rd and 2? They don't hand it off. They go play action. The quarterback's running. It's Benny Charles in space. He doesn't tackle it before the yellow line. And a 1st down conversion is absolutely killer. Oh, man. They send out 5 wide receivers.
Just under 2 minutes in the game.
And we use the quarterback spy. We know he's going to head out. What the hell was that animation? He doesn't lose the ball, flipped upside down, 5 feet in the air. Instead, he picks up 2 and calmly tosses the ball to the referee. At the 31, we got to start thinking about another timeout. 2nd and 8. Let's see what they do offensively here. They just run, and we take them down. We call a timeout, 3rd and 8, 1:22 left. We don't call it a sack. We'll call it a 1-yard gain. 3rd and 8 from the 30. What can we get done here defensively?
We're at play number 9 of this current drive.
They're going to scramble. We're going to take him down. Another timeout. We're all out of timeouts. And on 4th and 6 from the 29, they're going to send out the field goal unit. A tense finish here coming. The Huskies On the right hash, snap the ball. The kick is up,
It has the distance,
and it is through. So 73 ticks remain. A 3-point deficit is what we're staring down, but you have to consider it a successful defensive drive. They had the chance to get off the field before those 3 points, but it's all right. It will start at the 25-yard line.
Arizona State's coaches have got to be confident in the fact that
That's
they've got
the man
a star player in a tight situation.
And there's
who's
going to
try and
having a quarterback you have
keep the ball from
confidence in
touching the
these kind
floor.
of situations. You know he's going to make the right read. He's going to give his receivers a chance to make a play on the ball.
On this
they're going to have
drive.
a really good chance of moving the ball down the field to have a shot to win this game.
Here we are late in the fourth quarter in a very important and a very tight football
We don't have any
game.
timeouts, but we do
Who's
have a
gonna
little
come
bit of
to the
time.
forefront?
Here's what we can do
We'll
with
see
it.
who's got the most leadership. Now he tries to buy some time. Going deep.
Throw a
And it's
pick.
intercepted by the senior cornerback. He's taken down at about the 47-yard line.
Man, he was
The
open
Sun
to.
Devil, star quarterback, a tough way to end this game. He's just going to have to find a way to bounce back.
He's going to have to, and you and I had a chance to sit down with him. This is a tough loss. They'll deal with this for a couple days, and I think knowing these players, they'll be able to move past this and get ready for their next game.
From their own 47-yard line. First down. Just over a minute in the fourth quarter. And the quarterback's going to take a knee to drain this clock, and any hopes
Damn it.
the opposition
Well,
may have had.
our first loss in a little bit definitely stings. Defense played a really good game. Scored a touchdown for us. Oh, they're not? They're going to... Okay, they're going to run a last play. They're not going to kneel. And they're going to run for a fucking touchdown.
He's at the 40.
Awesome.
He's at the 30, to the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Washington.
It's worse. It's worse than just kneeling it. I know statistically it allows us to somehow get back in this game, but it hurts
Now
more.
it's up to the defense, and they're well aware that maybe one stop and they've got a victory. And he adds the extra point. Washington is ready to kick it away. Sends it sailing downfield. This one's going to be down in the end zone for a touchback.
Damn. Really close finish ends in a shitty loss.
The quarterback comes back on the field, and I'm sure he's hoping to make up for that interception on the last drive.
One general rule in any game is to hold on to the ball. If you're in the negative in the turnover department,
What an
your
awful
chances of
throw.
winning decrease exponentially.
Can't connect.
He's wide the
Blame him
fuck
for
open,
not hanging
and
on
you
to
just
that pass. He got
do
hit
that,
pretty
man.
hard.
That makes it second and 10.
This 99 overall quarterback playing like a struggling freshman.
From their own 25-yard line. Second down. 5 guys will be out in the pattern as they're in the shotgun. He scrambles. Gets it out quickly. Steps out of bounds around the 44-yard line. And for Tucker, he brings his receiving yardage to 100.
I think this defense has got to do a better job of making
He was
adjustments.
definitely the
This
player
guy
of the
seems to be
offense for
making
us,
catches the
Steve
entire
Tucker.
game. And if they don't do
let
something
us
different to be able to slow
get a
him
lot of
down,
first downs we
he's
maybe
just going to
didn't
continue
deserve.
to make big plays.
And they'll try one last pass here to pad the stats, but that's about all they're going to get right
The
here.
fuck
Throws
was
it
that?
deep. This one's intercepted.
I know
It's
he's
the
tired,
junior
but
safety.
shit, man. Nowhere near him. Throws another pick. What a really disappointing finish to what was an awesome
and
game
more
before that.
offense in this one, and it's finally over. Washington 41, Arizona State 31.
Well, thanks for watching, guys, on a Friday night. Kind of a shitty loss, but the rest of the way we're looking to win the rest of them because there are a lot of winnable games. This was definitely the toughest left on the schedule. But these things happen. Arizona State drops to 4-5. 3 games left on the season. Trying to get to 7-5, get a bowl game. no surprising results there. As look at a little bit of game stat action. 20 first downs apiece. They just killed us on the floor. 255 rushing yards. That was definitely the story of the game. Neil Hunter had an unreal game. Obviously, that last touchdown and 55 yards kind of exploded his stat line, but Jeff Oliver also very, very good on the defensive side for them. Brian Warren, 2 tackles for loss, the forced fumble. That was huge. And while you hate to see a loss, there were some positives to take away. Not really offensively, but as a team for sure. Yeah, we'll let all this save and we'll let all this upload. But we'll be back online Sunday. We've got a football manager save that we're doing there with a couple of fun stipulations that make it really exciting. I kind of find that when you play football manager for more than 4 or 5 seasons, it just gets stale. You can buy the best wonder kids in the world that the AI can't really cope with and can't find as fast as you can. So I put a lot of fun stipulations on it to make it not only harder for us, but a little more interesting after a few seasons have elapsed. We won the Zweite Bundesliga, our first season as Hansa Rostock, and now we find ourselves with the lowest payroll allocation in the Bundesliga, the top flight in Germany, and they're definitely up against it this year, so you can check that out Sunday night as we try to stay afloat in the Bundesliga. But if you don't find yourself wanting to watch something like that, not a big soccer guy, then we'll be streaming NCAA again next week.